All right, Matt, for college, we have rational expressions. Rational expressions are the key word here is ratio. Ratio means fraction. As you can look at these, they are written as a fraction. And in order to cancel things off, they have to be written in factored form because, say, 3 divided by 3, that's 1. So that's why we say those 3's cancel. They don't give us 0, they give us 1. So in this situation, I'll write it out. If you were to factor out a 6x out of the top, you would be left with 9x. And if you were to factor a 6x out of the bottom, you'd be left with 4. When they are written in form of multiplication, notice that would be like 6x over 6x times 9x over 4. And so in that situation, that becomes 1, and 1 times anything is itself, so we get 9x over 4. So when it's written in factored form, you can cancel it. The x minus 3's, I can cancel those because it's written in factored form. So I get 8x squared over 4. That is 2x squared. So what's a situation where you can't just cross things off? Well, I can't just say, well, we're going to cancel off those x's. And 5 divided by 10 is a half. And 20 divided by 40 is a half. And 1 over 4x squared. That's not what you do, okay? Doesn't work like that. You first must write it in factored form. So if I factor a 5 out of the top, you're left with x minus 4. If you factor a 10x out of the bottom, you are left with x minus 4. Those cancel. And you have 5 over 10x, 5 and 10. You can factor a 5 out of the top. You can factor a 5 out of the bottom. And notice how those then cancel. I get 1 over 2x. The next one, I factor not x minus 3, but 3 minus x times 3 plus x. Divided by, on the bottom, I have x minus 3 times x minus 2. Now, it looks like these two are just about the same, but they're technically not. If you factor a negative 1 out of the 3 minus x, notice the x becomes positive and the 3 becomes negative. Now they're the same after I factor that negative 1 out, and you can see the cancellation. So my final result, if you want to distribute that negative 1 through, you can. It'd be negative 3 minus x over x minus 2. That would be one way of writing it. Okay, so what if you're multiplying? Multiplying, you still cancel just the same way. So this expression is the same as 3 times 4x over 2x times 9. Notice you can write it as one fraction or as 2 being multiplied. It doesn't matter. The idea is sometimes you can look across from each other and consider how they would simplify. This is not cross multiplying. Cross multiplying is when you have a fraction equal to a fraction. And in that situation, we cross multiply in order to solve. That's not what's going on here because there's no equal sign. So what we will do is we will look across from each other. 3 over 9 will reduce to 1/3. 4x over 2x will reduce to 2 over 1. And I get 2/3. Notice that the x plus 2's will cancel. And then the 4 over 12 reduces to 1/3. So I get x minus 1 over 3. In this situation, you need to do some factoring. X plus 5 does not factor. 3x plus 1 does not factor. Factor 3 out of the top, we get 3x plus 1. And on the bottom, factor x plus 5 times x minus 5. You can see in this situation the x plus 5's cancel. The 3x plus 1's cancel. We have the 3 over x minus 5. Factor x plus 3 times x minus 1 over x minus 2 times x plus 1. I'm going to factor a negative 1 out of this guy. Negative 1 times x minus 2, and then x plus 3 in the bottom. It is time now to look at what cancels. The x plus 3's will cancel. The x minus 2's will cancel. And so you're left with that -1 times x minus 1, or 1 minus x over x plus 1. So what do you do when you divide? We never want to divide. We always want to multiply by the reciprocal. So 2x over 3 times 12 over 6x squared. Notice the 12 over 3 reduces to 4 over 1. Notice the 2x over 6x squared reduces to 1 over 3x. And I get 4 over 3x. Again, I'm going to take x minus 2 times x plus 2 over x plus 1. And I multiply by x times x plus 1 over x minus 2. X minus 2's are gone. X plus 1's are gone. We have x times x plus 2. Again, I'm going to write it as multiplied by the reciprocal. So times x squared minus 9 over x plus 1. Factor the top, x plus 1 times x minus 1 over x plus 3. And on the bottom, x plus 3 times x minus 3 over x plus 1. Notice the x plus 1's cancel. Notice the x plus 3's cancel. And for the last one, I'm going to try to factor it as I rewrite it. X plus 3 times x plus 1 over x plus 4 times x minus 2. So now the 2 minus x is in the top. I'm going to factor out a -1. I'll be given x minus 2. I factor a 3 out of the bottom, and I'm left with x plus 1. So you can see in this situation that the x minus 2's cancel. The x plus 1's cancel. So on the top you have -x minus 3, as you look at that -1 distributed through. On the bottom you have 3 times x plus 4. Now you could distribute the 3 through the bottom. But I do want you to know that generally speaking in math, we like to leave the bottom in factored form. That way it's easy to see if something does cancel. There's your introduction into rational expressions. Good luck. I hope you're able to practice and do well.